In this video, I'm going to show you how to go from here, raw chestnuts, to here, chestnut flour. Here in the area where we live, which is near Paris, France, and specifically near the Chateau de Breteuil, where we are today, there are many, many chestnut trees. And in the autumn, which is, let's say, the October time frame, early November, the chestnuts fall off the trees. And what you need to look for is this spiny husk. And inside the husk, there are chestnuts. So here, this one has three nuts in it, and then it's like that. So what I do in the autumn is walk around and pick these up, and I can pick up many bucketfuls. All right, so I've found quite a few chestnuts, and the next step is to get ready for roasting. And for that, we need a roasting pan. And what it is a steel frying pan with lots of holes in it. We can find these very easily in France where I live. However, in the States, I'm not so sure. However, I saw a YouTube video of a guy in the States, and he just bought a steel pan and drilled holes in it. That would work as well. Then another thing which is nice, but it's not totally necessary, but it's nice, is a chestnut peeling knife like this one. And as you see, it's got a short blade on it, about 2 centimeters long or 1 inch long. And the reason for that short blade is, well, you just don't need very much when you're peeling chestnuts. And I found the best way to peel them is to hold them on the top and the bottom, and then put a bit of pressure on it so it digs in a little bit in the chestnut, and then just go around like this. Yeah. So I'm going to now peel those chestnuts, or about a handful of them, and then we'll meet up again. So now I've prepared about a handful of nuts, and it's time to roast it. And the reason for roasting them is that way the peel or the skin comes off easily and the nuts dry out. We have a heating stove, and I'm going to roast them in that. Also, sometimes I make a fire outside and I roast them in that. But if you don't have that and you only have a barbecue, let's say, you can roast it on the barbecue. I'm going to roast it for about 15 minutes. So let's get started. All right, so 15 minutes is up. I'm going to take them out. Now I'm just going to put them in this plate to cool off. So the nuts have cooled off enough, and now it's time to peel them. And you'll notice, since I cut around them before I roasted them, that the peel is almost coming off, you see? And then, so I'll go ahead and peel them, and then I'll put them in this plastic container. And I'll explain in the next video, in our next segment, why it goes into this plastic container. All right, so just 4 more to go. Yeah, some of them are easier than others. And last one. All right, so now why am I using this plastic container? Well, you'll notice that there's a skin in addition to the peel, and the skin also has to come off, or at least most of it. And what I noticed is if you put it in this plastic container and you shake it, most of the skin comes off. So we're gonna give it a try. And you see, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, most of the skin comes off. I'm gonna go ahead and shake it a bit more, and yeah. So yeah, that's how you get the skin off of it, and we're gonna shake it a bit more. So I shook it, and as you see, lots of skin comes off. And now I'm gonna shake it again. And so I put them back in here, into the plastic container. And I'll shake it again. Yeah, and some more skin came off, but this time, you know, since I'm going to grind it afterwards, not all the skin needs to come off, just most of it, and this time it's enough. So now that the skin is off of it, I can now grind the nuts. So what I use is a food processor, and so first put the blade in it, and then put the nuts in, and then I'm going to grind them up. So you can't get it really fine with this food processor, and the final step will be actually to put the grains into a coffee grinder, but this gets it pretty small. All right, so let's see how it is. So this is almost this texture of flour, but not quite. And as you feel it, it feels kind of a bit wet. So I'll put this bowl on top of the fireplace. If you don't have a fireplace or a fire stove, I'll put it, you can use it in the oven, for example. Put it in the oven for, I don't know, half an hour or something like that, just to really dry it out. So now I'm going to put the bowl on top of the fire stove, and I'll leave it like that overnight. It'll be nice and dry in the morning. So now the flour has really dried out, and now we'll make it really very fine and really turn it into flour. And for that, we have a nut grinder or a coffee grinder. So now I'll put it in there. Like that. And then turn on. And there you have it. I'm going to try to dump some in the bowl here. And so you see, that is fine flour. And that is the last step of going from here, raw chestnuts, to here. Gluten-free chestnut flour.